greatest legacy Mr. Parker gave to you, and what are you giving back to us?
Two things. First thing is that he gave me a life. And if it wasn't the things I learned from Ed Parker when I was a boy, I would not be here today because of my experiences in Vietnam. That's the first primary thing is I have a life. The second thing is my youngest son asked me, sitting in the blacksmith shop when we were celebrating my 50th year in Kenpo, and he asked me, he said, "Dad, what do you want your legacy to be after 50 years?" And I told him, I said, "I'm not concerned about my legacy. Legacy is a personal thing." I told him, I said, "I'm more concerned about my generations past me to be a strong link to those generations." So I have no personal legacy. I don't believe Ed Parker has a personal legacy. I think Ed Parker has generations and generations and generations.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Hebler.
Yes?
What do you think the greatest thing Mr. Parker left you?
I would like you to be mindful of one thing. It's up to you guys now. You need to carry the torch. You need to carry Kenpo forward. You need to be the old guys sitting up here. And I hope you will, if you're teaching Kenpo as a hobby, and you don't have to make a living at it, it really doesn't matter what you teach. But if you're going to make a living at it and be successful and feed your family, then I think you need to be mindful of the curriculum. What are you going to teach? And I'll give you a scenario to give you an idea of how I think about that. Suppose you have a brand new student. He's 20 years old. Man or woman, doesn't matter. Pretty good shape. Smart enough to figure out how to get to your studio all by himself. And your job is to teach this guy to the level where he's able to handle an assault situation against a single opponent, no weapons involved, and get away with a whole skin. And you got 12 weeks to do it. Can you do it? Yeah, you can. Well, what are you going to teach him? You're going to teach him good, solid basics, how to cover ground with authority. You're going to teach him how to punch and kick and strike with speed and power. Maybe you'll teach all that, maybe you'll teach some more. But what you will do in order to reach your goal is stick to the basics. You got to keep it simple, folks. You really do. And if you'll do that, once you get that person to a level where he's competent, where he can handle an assault situation, then you can teach him anything. Teach him any, convoluted form you can ever think of. But if you can't explain it simply, then you don't know it well enough. I don't want to hear marriage of gravity or angle of incidence. What is that angle, by the way? Is it 22 degrees or 45 degrees? And what plane is it in? Is it horizontal, vertical, or oblique? And if I knew that real angle of incidence, how the heck does that help me punch your face off? I would hate to find myself in an assault situation where my go-to, save my butt technique is the finger set.